Hey everyone, so I'm learning to put together low poly scenes and levels that looks kinda like this. This isn't the finished one, but you get the idea. And I have learned a cool way to color low poly objects from a very popular asset store, asset creator, and I wanted to share it with you in this video. So basically the idea is that you can color all of the low poly objects with just one texture. So you can create a texture that looks like this. First of all, this is Photoshop, and you can create a texture that simply contains color samples of every kind of color that you want to use. You don't need all the possible colors, just the one that you want to use, and it makes it even easier to pick colors because these are pre-selected for you, and they automatically create a nice combination of colors. And you can even create samples for separate materials like so. And this is just a PNG image with color samples that you have collected. And then you simply create your low poly models, and when you do UV mapping, you don't need to do proper UV mapping and unfold the whole model. All you need to do is select faces that you want to be a certain color, like for example this is a bright wood, and then in UV editor you put the UV faces on top of the color sample that you want this color to be. So this is extremely fast because you don't need to do any proper UV unfolding. You simply select faces that you want, you create UVs, and you scale them down to 0 or to a small value so that they fit inside the tiny color sample, and then you put them over the colors that you want them to be, like so. So, for example, barrel, I have several parts of a barrel, and they belong to three different wood colors, like so. And as you can see, you can very quickly and easily create a pretty colored barrel that ends up looking pretty great, and it's really fast. And this is one texture, so it's going to work very fast, and it can be used in any 3D software or in any gaming engine, and that's pretty cool. Another thing that you can do is create tiles. So here, these people who create assets, they have created a bunch of tiles that I've copied from them to learn from them. So just create a grid of different textures that you would like to use in your scene. And then, for example, if you want to create a floor or a wall, you create one single tile. So this is like one polygon, and you put it over the texture, like so. And then you can copy and paste this polygon as many times as you want to tile the floor with this texture or with several textures. Same can be done for walls over here. So that's pretty cool and smart because with only two textures you can put together scenes extremely quickly, and it looks great. It looks low poly and simple and beautiful, at least as beautiful as I can make it look. And for example, if you want to make a wood texture, as you can see, there is no well, there is some wood texture over here, but this wood texture is done with this technique. So you can create a very narrow stripe of colors. So this would be like wood planks, and then you create UV for this box and you scale it down. And as you can see, if I move it around, each of these little squares will turn into a board made out of wood. So you just make it very narrow, and then it stretches the texture, but it creates this nice pattern. It's very simple. Of course, you cannot use this for stuff that's too realistic, but you can use this for wood, and tiles can be used for walls and for floor, and colors can be used for the rest of the objects. And then you can bring it into Houdini or into whatever you want and start rendering. In this case, I will try to create a map for D&D. I'm really enjoying this technique. Of course, I haven't mastered it yet because I've got a lot to learn and a lot more to model, but I thought this would be useful and interesting to you. I was wondering how people color low poly models. I used to color them face by face, like I would literally select each separate face and assign it a separate material. But that wasn't very convenient because, first of all, if I assign colors to faces in Houdini, then I can no longer transfer these colors conveniently into Unity or Unreal. And also, for example, if I model a scene in Silo, which is by far my favorite 3D modeling editor, uh, I would also be unable to assign colors here and then transfer them to Houdini conveniently. I would be able to create a bunch of materials for each color, but it would be a huge pain in the ass to just transfer it here with matching colors. But now I'm simply, as I model like a box or something, I just create a model, I place the UVs to the appropriate color. I immediately see preview over here. I can see the whole preview in my 3D editor. And when I move it to Houdini or to anything else, all the colors remain. It's super fast, super convenient, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So I hope this technique will be useful for you, and I'll see you in my future tutorials.